This video will talk about the shared report features in PI's reporting. As you know, you can save a report and project in Sight. You can also share a report to another user. In this example, I'm going to share this report with Mr. Boss. As I've made that change, I'm going to show the two features that you can do when this report is shared with someone else. To do so, I'll have to impersonate Mr. Boss, which I'll do right now. Now that I'm impersonating Mr. Boss, I can see this report under Project Reports as active internal projects is shared with me. The first thing I'll show that I can do is I can make changes or an edit to this report and save it. That change will be effective for the owner of the report, which is Dylan, and anyone else who has the report shared with them. So let's say I go to the options here. Let's take out internal and make this client. Now let's run that report. Now I'm showing different filters. Now that my different filters are showing different results, go ahead and change that to client projects. Now before I do that, I want to make sure I uncheck this box that says save as new report, because if I do this, then the report will now get saved as a new one, active client projects, in addition to the active internal projects report. So I'll go ahead and uncheck that, hit save. That save has taken place. Now I should refresh my screen. You'll see that change has taken place. Now if I go into the report as Dylan again, which I'll do right now. Now I'm back in as Dylan. If I go to my reports under projects, you can see the active client projects report has now changed names, and the filtering options has changed to what is Mr. Boss has changed it to, as well as the results of the report. The last thing I'll show is if a user has been shared a report, they can take ownership over that report. So go ahead and go back in as Mr. Boss and show that here. Now back in this report as Mr. Boss, if I go to save report, I'll make sure to uncheck this box again, make sure I don't save it as a new report. I want this to be the same report that it was, and I'll check replace owner. Now after hitting save and confirming that, let's refresh the page. Now if I go save report again, you can see Mr. Boss is now the owner. Doing so, the report will no longer appear in the original report owner's report home. So let's go back as Dylan here. Now see I'm back in as Dylan, and this report is now, if I go save report, Mr. Boss is now the owner of this report, and it was also shared with me, so I can make sure I see the report still up in my menu. But you'll notice that the ownership is now Mr. Boss. These capabilities will only work for users who have the following roles in their profile: System Administrator, or the Project Report Viewer checkbox, or the Resource Allocation Viewer checkbox. And of course, none of those will work unless they have this Create and Edit Reports option. But if they have any of those three, Report Viewer, Resource Allocation Viewer, or System Administrator, then they will be able to make changes to the report and have that save change affect the owner or anyone else shared with the report, or that they can take ownership over the report.